don't know me, my name is Cindy Hartman, and I'm a licensed professional counselor. I work in the criminal justice system, and I do mobile crisis. So mobile crisis, we're responding to mental health emergencies. So that could be someone who's suicidal, homicidal, or just is in some sort of psychiatric emergency. And we're there just to keep them safe in that moment. So that's what I do. Today, I'm going to talk to you about, well, I'm going to try. Okay. I'm going to talk to you about a 23-year-old young man who was very full of life. Oh, hold on. Okay, it's okay. I can do this. This young man had a ton of friends. He had a girlfriend who adored him. She was amazing. He was an outdoorsman. He liked to do things outdoors. He liked to rappel down mountains, hike, fish, ride motorcycles, which I find terrifying, with his friends, but he was just very full of life. He had a great job. So he would go out of town and work and make a ton of money and then come home and play hard. So it was very independent. He had rented a house, and he had a big house, and he thought that was just too much. He wanted to save some money, so he bought this big old camper and moved it on the side of the mountain to save money because he was planning on going back to school and becoming an engineer. So he worked really hard. I told you he had a girlfriend who adored him, and he adored her. But he had been in this relationship for a really long time with someone else, and they had broken up in May of 2015. Aaron wasn't over her yet. He still loved her. So on December 16th, the two of them started texting one another that morning and text back and forth all day. In this conversation, he told her he was going to kill himself, and she kind of made fun of him. She told him she was going to send the people in little white coats to come get him. And the conversation went on all day. And at 8 o'clock, a little after 8, he took the gun. And he ended it. A little after midnight, Aaron's family found out when the police knocked on the door. The police officer was very matter of fact. He said, "Your son is dead, and it was self-inflicted." That door was mine. And that young man was mine, and I was really proud of him. He told one person. His friends didn't know, his family didn't know, none of us knew he was in trouble. One person knew. So I'm here because what if that one person is you? Do you know what to do? Do you know what to do if someone says to you, "I'm going to kill myself"? Have any of you ever been faced with that? Do you know, what would you do? So that's why I'm here. We kind of have a timeline of what happened that day from Aaron's phone. And I wanted you to hear the last song that he listened to. He didn't want to die. He just wanted the pain to go away. And after this song, we'll turn this over to Christy Tipton. She is my friend and colleague. She's the director of Mobile Crisis for Frontier Health. And she's been gracious enough to come here and speak to you. So please listen to what she has to say. It could be the difference in life and death. Another family may not have to go through what I've really been through. Thank you.
Tell me, what does it look like in heaven? Is it forever. Have your pain and your fears gone away? 'Cause here on earth it feels like everything good is missing since you left. And here on earth everything's different. There's an emptiness. Oh, I hope you're dancing in the sky, and I hope you're singing in the angels' choir, and I hope the angels know that I'm getting so nice up in heaven since you arrived. Tell me, what do you do up in heaven? Are your days filled with love and light? Tell me, is there music? Is there art and invention? Are you happy? Are you feeling for alive? Well, it's here on earth it feels like everything good is missing since you left. And here on earth everything's different. There's an emptiness. Oh, I hope you're dancing in the sky, and I hope you're singing in the angels' choir, and I hope the angels know that I'm getting so nice up in heaven since you arrived. Since you arrived. Since you arrived. Since you arrived. Oh, since you arrived. Since you arrived. Since you arrived. Since you arrived. Yeah. Since you arrived. Tell me, what do you do up there? Are your days filled with love and light?
Let's give Cindy a hand for being so tardy. I'm so excited to be here to talk to you guys about suicide prevention and what to do if you know someone that is struggling and how you can help. As Cindy said, I'm the director of crisis for Frontier Health. We go in all different regions and all different places. We're in schools, we go to doctor's offices, we're in the ERs. We're just all over because it's such a huge problem. We typically see 100 to 150 kids a month that are suffering from depression and struggling with thoughts of suicide. So it is a major issue, especially in our area. Suicide is the second leading cause of death for teenagers and young adults. That's important to know, because that's a huge, huge majority of people we know. How many of you have known someone that have harmed themselves or have talked about it? Maybe a family member or a friend? Several of us. What do you do to help? Do you be the person that just says, they're just looking for attention?
They may be looking for attention, and that's okay. You still have to take it seriously. Very, very important. Take it seriously, always. I want to talk about a few of the myths that surround suicide today. One of the myths is that people who talk about suicide don't actually do it. That's not true. A lot of people do it, that talk about it. In fact, most people that do it will tell someone, at least one person. So it's important to know that, so that if you hear that from someone, you hear that I'm over it, I can't do it anymore, I'm just going to kill myself, take it seriously. Many people they give definite warnings. There's warning signs. There's things to look out for. So if one of your friends or one of your family members or just someone you just know from the family, they seem depressed, and that's not they're not being their usual self. They're isolating themselves. They don't want to do things like they used to. Crying a lot. Maybe they had a recent loss. Maybe they're grieving. Maybe they're hurting. Maybe they just broke up with their boyfriend or girlfriend. Maybe they had a conflict with their friend. You think, oh, it's no big deal. They'll get over their friendships. They'll be okay, right? How many times do we see that at school? We'll have an argument with our friend. They'll say, we're not friends anymore. Maybe that was that one person's only link. That was you were their person. Giving away possessions. That's a real common sign. People that are suicidal will often give away things that are really close to them. Maybe someone has a bracelet or something that you see them wear every day, and it's something that's really important to them. Maybe their dad gave it to them, and they haven't seen their dad in a long time. They want to give it to you. They don't need it anymore. That's a sign. Being hopeless, making threats. You know, we live in an age now where everything's on the internet. Everything's on Facebook. When I worked for the school system, I spent a whole lot of time investigating people's Facebooks. Not my students' favorite thing that I did, but it kept a lot of them safe. When we get frustrated, we lash out to someone. And if we don't feel like we have someone in our family or a friend to lash out to, we put it out there somehow. And for some people, some youth, that's on the internet. So take all those things seriously. One other myth is men are more likely to be suicidal. That's not necessarily true. Boys are 4 times more likely to kill themselves because they use more lethal means. We've got some information out at the tent about suicide prevention, and there's some things in there for parents too, if some of the adults are interested, about what are some of the means that people use to kill themselves. Don't be afraid to talk about that. You know, a lot of times when we hear someone say suicide, they're like, we don't want to talk about that. And it's not a lot of people's favorite thing to talk about. It is mine because I think it's important for everyone to hear. I want everyone to know just how important that is. Cindy wants everybody to know just how important that is. Asking a depressed person about suicide will push him or her to complete the suicide. That's one of the biggest myths that is out there. Well, if I talk to them about it, if I ask them, do you want to kill yourself? They're going to go do it. That's not true. Someone is more likely to do that if you don't, because they don't feel like anybody cares. So if you're asking, they know that you care. So that's really important that you do that. One of the last myths that I want to talk about, suicidal teens feel more comfortable talking to a family member rather than an outsider about suicidal thoughts. Let me see a show of hands. If you were really going through something bad, would that first person be somebody in your family? Raise your hand if that would be true. Just a few of you. Most kids, that's not true for them. Research shows the number one person that they're going to go to is somebody at school. Kids are with school counselors and teachers every day. They're with their parents every day too. But there's that line there, parent and child, right? So a kid is more likely to tell someone at school, a friend, a teacher. The second person is a friend. Someone's likely going to tell their friend, hey, I'm really having a hard time right now. I can't do this anymore. If you're that friend, what are you going to do? How are you going to handle that? The third most likely person that they're going to go to is a faith-based leader. And that's one reason I enjoy very much talking about this in a church setting. I've done this many times before. And a lot of people, you know, we go through a lot of emotional, spiritual turmoil. You know, a lot of times when we're having concerts and hearing speakers. And a lot of hefty things come up. Maybe things that have happened to you in the past or things that your family's going through. So it's very natural to talk to your youth leaders, talk to your preacher. So that's another person that people often go to. And then, after all those people, guess who's next? Finally, the parents. Parents are not the most likely person they're going to go to. And I think parents need to know that too. That there's a lot of other people that people are going to reach out, that their kids are going to reach out to. So, we've talked about the signs, we've talked about some myths. The big thing I want you to know is what to do if someone comes to you and says, I want to kill myself. First thing you need to do is listen. Don't be judgmental. Now, Cindy told us a story about how someone just kind of passed it off, you know? Oh, it's just trying to get my attention. It's not going to do it. I'm just going to tell him I'm going to send him away and then it'll be okay. That doesn't help. You have to treat this with love and not be judgmental. We're all broken. We're all struggling from something. And it's really important that we respond in a loving way to others when they reach out to us. The second thing, and as I go through this, just to help you remember what to do when someone's suicidal, life. The acronym is LIFE. So the first one was listen. The second one is insist on honesty. Be true. Don't blow a bunch of smoke when you're talking to them. Oh, it's going to be all right. Insist on them being honest and you be honest with them. If they've had a big loss, you know, it stinks. It really stinks that you're going through that. But it will get better. Be honest with them. The third thing is feelings. Share them. Share how you feel about it. Share that it hurts your heart that they're going through this and that you want to be supportive of them and you want to give them help. E, life, extending a helping hand. Get them help. So where would you go to get them help? If it's a friend at school, you go to your school counselor, you go to a teacher. We're very blessed in this area that most schools have a counselor of some sort. I'm with Frontier Health and several of my colleagues work in schools. So they're there for you for that very reason. We have a number, I've got some flyers out front that has our crisis number on it, and I've got somebody there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And that's what they do, they answer the phone when people have been told that someone they love is suicidal, so that they can help get them the help they need. There's lots of resources. Don't be afraid to tell your parents. Don't be afraid to tell your youth pastors, your preacher. Tell a trusted adult. Tell someone to get them the help they need. Sitting by and doing nothing is not okay anymore. Used to, that's the culture we lived in. We just pushed everything under the rug. We can't do that anymore. There's too many people hurting and dying, and we have to help. So don't be afraid to. So remember life. Let's go through that one more time before I end. What's L stand for? I? Honesty, yes. F? Feelings. E? Help. Extend a helping hand. Thank you all for letting me come and speak with you. I'm honored, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Sounds like you're going to have an awesome concert.